This Week in Gaming! Welcome in, everybody. It is what is wrong with my brain? It's April 27th, 2026. Couple months off. And we're going to be talking about everything that happened this week in gaming. We got a few things planned for you guys. It's going to be a pretty good one. So let's go to our wins and fails. We have amateur adaptation, huge hits, lacking legacy, coming changes, and trash taste. A little bit of trash taste. Shut up! Shut up with your December. Shut up. Moving on to our first fail, going to Far Cry show, not an adaptation. First fail, Zen's shut up. FX's showrunner for the upcoming Far Cry adaptation, Noah Hawley, has assured fans that the show will not be an adaptation. Don't worry, guys, we're not adapting shit for this adaptation. Instead, he will be putting his own spin on it. This begs the question on what the show will have to do with Far Cry if it isn't based on the games. It'll likely just be another generic action show. Far Cry 4 director Alex Hutchinson made his disagreement known on LinkedIn. And here's the director for the new Far Cry show. He says, "I'm not specifically adapting any of the games that they've put out. We can have a larger conversation about the strengths and weaknesses of adapting video games, specifically because games are built in a way that does not make them the best for drama." And then Alex Hutchinson says, "This is kind of pissing me off, and I like Noah Hawley's work." Holy cow, we're getting hit with the giant titan from Attack on Titan. I think I just got eaten. Thanks, Kieran. Oh, you know what? You made fun of me. You said first fail Zen's Brian. What? How are you gonna make fun of me? You can't even spell brain. Shut up. How the fuck is that a statement? How are games bad at showing drama? That's a great question, and especially when you talk about Far Cry 3 and 4, those were notably very dramatic with all the different changes, and I actually like the story. I think you could make a Far Cry 3 show, and it would you wouldn't have to change much. You can use the story from that. My concern is if we just take the name Far Cry and slap it on a generic action show, Far Cry doesn't have a lot of elements that make it unique to Far Cry, right? It's just generic action. The only thing that makes Far Cry are the villains. You know what I mean? Like Voss or Pagan Min or John Appleseed, whatever the fuck his name was from Far Cry 5. But they have these characters, and these characters are played by real people. You could just get the actors and make a Far Cry show based around these villains, and it would work. But if you don't do that, if you don't adapt those parts of the game, you're not gonna have a Far Cry show. You know what I mean? It's just gonna be action show TM, you know? Games are way more entertaining than TV. Dude, you're preaching to the choir. To be honest, I never played Far Cry, only watched some Let's Plays, and the Let's Plays are probably better than the show. Yeah, we'll see. The show's not out yet, so it's just I'm concerned when people start talking like this. We're not going to adapt the show. We're going to do something unique, or we're not going to adapt the game. We're going to do something unique, and it's dude, the reason people are watching this is because it's adapting the games. You know what I mean? And the games already don't have a whole lot of uniqueness to them, without the story that we know that we recognize from Fallout or Far Cry. It's just going to be a generic action show. So I'm concerned about that. You know what I really want? I really want them to bring this guy back. Dude, you make a Far Cry show and this dude's in the fucking trailer. This is the worst picture. Why are every single picture is 400 pixels? You get this guy who's a real actor, by the way. He was in Breaking Bad, actually. He's a fantastic actor. Get this guy, have him reprise his role, and he will do a fantastic job. And I guarantee you, it'll sell well. It just will. People, dude, if this guy on the big screen playing Voss happens, I guess not big screen, I guess the medium screen, whatever you call it for streaming, that's just a W. If they're not adapting that, then they're stupid. They're really dumb. So I'm hoping that's the direction this is going. By the way, we're bringing back the stream beer. Today we're drinking the Irish Death, which comes from, is it Bend, Oregon? I feel like every beer comes from Bend, Oregon nowadays. It does not say. Why doesn't it say? Quilter's Irish Death is the namesake beer of Jim Quilter, founder of Iron Horse Brewery. This malt-focused brew, dark in color and deep in taste, defies those pesky style guidelines. This beer is a little bit extra and will always be dark, smooth ale. It's very good. I've had this quite a few times. It's one of my go-tos. It's from Ellensburg, Washington, actually. So we actually have a Washington brand for once. Let's make a movie based on GTA 5, but put a different spin on it. Reacher. Could you imagine if we were like, let's make a Call of Duty movie, but we're not going to include any characters or story from the Call of Duty franchise? Okay, so what are you making then? An action movie? You know what I mean? If there's nothing tying it to the games, then it's just not about, it's not an adaptation at all. It's just generic action movie. At that point, you might as well not call it Far Cry. You might as well not call it Call of Duty. You might as well not call it GTA, right? If you just made a game about crime, or a show or a movie about crime, it's gonna be Die Hard. All right, let's go to a win now. Our win goes to Huge Pragmata Success. Pragmata marks another massive win for Capcom this year and is their highest rated Steam game ever. With 97% positive reviews on Steam, it just barely beats out Resident Evil 4, which had 96%. This is another success right off the heels of their previous Resident Evil Requiem hit. For Capcom, they seem to be the only studio right now producing hits in the AAA industry and is carrying it heavily. This is genuinely right now the only AAA studio that's massively profitable. Wagwan. What? But yeah, I feel like I should play this game. I've only heard good things. It's kind of got that that Mandalorian style, Last of Us style, where you got like that, like you got a kid that you're taking with you on your adventures, and you got to protect them, but then they start growing on you, and they start like, you know, showing that they're also valuable. Oh, another trope that does this is God of War does this as well with his son. Boy, you know, single player and not live service game. No wonder it's a hit. I know, it's like gamers have a preference, right? Who would have thought that gamers would like a single player game that doesn't try to milk them for all their money? You pay an entry fee and you get the entire experience. Isn't that wild? But yeah, W to Capcom. Like I'm really interested. You know what's crazy is I haven't played any of these games either. I've just been so busy like developing and stuff. I haven't really had time to just sit down and play a game. I haven't even finished Expedition 33 or Baldur's Gate 3. Like, I am so far behind. I really would like to just be able to spend a week playing games. That would be really nice. But I don't see that happening because I'm always so busy. Like, and every time I play games, I always feel guilty because I'm like, I should be developing my own games. You know what I mean? Anyways, moving on, I guess that's all I have to say. Like, just big W's, big win for this one. This is a very fun one. Honestly, I think the wins this week were better than the fails. But let's go into another fail. Let's see how big is this fail. Moving on to Fable ditching the morality system. The newest Fable game will not be including the system where characters' appearance changes to reflect their morality. Peter Molyneux, the original creator of the franchise, has called this a real shame. I don't know why they've done that. Molyneux, oh my gosh, theorized that the reason may be due to difficulty in today's high-fidelity graphics industry. So, you know, if you're changing the characters subtly throughout the game based on their morality, it would take a lot more artists to do something like that, especially when you have multiple genders and different like character customization. That could be a nightmare. Ralph Fulton from Playground, the studio working on the game, even admitted that this feature was a central part of the original games, yet they decided not to do it. So I think it does make sense. I think it does. It's not the worst thing. I do think it's kind of a fail though. It's already like, this is the first instance that I've seen where it's like, kind of concerning that they're ditching something from the original games, because I think the original games have a formula that they should stick to, like rigidly, like starting as a child, growing up, and experiencing, like the game needs to always start from like you being a kid to being an adult, and then it also needs to have that legacy system where like Albion is a world that evolves over time, and each game is like a different period of that time. They need something like that. It also needs a morality system. Morality system is very important, which it does have. So I guess we'll see. It needs a housing system. It's also very important. Some NPCs will like evil acts, etc. Yeah. Fable OG was black or white. This new Fable operates in gray area, and I think that could be a good thing. I'm kind of concerned that they're going to do that same, because I like that Fable is black and white, because it's literally a fable, like a storybook. When you read a storybook to a child, there's the good guy and there's the bad guy. There is no gray area. That's kind of the point of a fable. When you start adding this nuance to it, when you start adding this, did I just get attacked by a fucking Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle? What the hell was that? Did Raphael just throw a pizza and a shuriken at me? Anyways, I lost my train of thought. Oh, right. I'm just kind of concerned if they start getting into this nuance, because I've been kind of annoyed where like every single movie nowadays has to have like the villain be like also kind of the good guy. And they have to have this point where it's like, actually, it makes sense when you think about it from the villain's perspective. Like, why can't the villain just, be bad, right? Like sometimes like it's okay for the villain to just be cartoonishly evil, right? You still need to give them like a reason for why, like an actual like realistic reason why they're like that. But in real life, there are a lot of people that are just straight up evil for no reason. Well, maybe not no reason, but they want power, or they want something. They have something driving them to be cartoonishly evil. I'm so drained from villains having motives. Some people just need to watch the world burn, and that's okay. That's exactly what I'm saying. Like, every villain now has to have some sort of complexity. They need to be, like, relatable. They need to be sexy and cool. Like, dude, the fucking villain, the perfect example of this is, the villain from, what's the fucking, Marvel superhero? Who's the cat from Wakanda? What the? Killmonger, that guy. Eric Killmonger. This fucking dude is the perfect example of like, oh, we need to make the villain hot. We're gonna have Michael B. Jordan play him. He's gonna be cool and sexy, and a lot of the people are gonna want the villain to win in this movie. He's gonna have a cool motive. It's gonna make sense. Like, you can do that occasionally, but every Marvel movie does that now. It's like the newest villain is fucking RDJ, Robert Downey Jr. Like, you know what I mean? Like, not every villain needs to be cool, sexy, and like relatable. Like Tom Hiddleston as Loki. I think the best villain is someone that thinks he's on the good side and has good points from their view. I think a good example of this was like not even a good example, just a better example in the same Marvel universe was Thanos. Thanos was a little bit more like ridiculously evil, but like had some sort of motive that made sense. But when you actually put like any level of thought into it, you're like, that doesn't make sense. Like, he wants to half the population to save the worlds, to save the universe, but they're just gonna grow again. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Talking of Fable, Peter just released a very Fable-like game called Masters of Albion. Yes, I've heard about that. I've heard it's been doing well. A lot of people like it, and a lot of people have. It's earned him a lot of goodwill because he was like a crypto scammer for a while. So a lot of people did not like him. He made that shitty game Godus. He made that shitty game like What's Inside the Cube, and then he made a crypto NFT game. And a lot of people were like, this guy's a grifter, he's a scammer, and Masters of Albion really did bring back some of the goodwill. I'm enjoying it, bro. It's extremely Fable. I need to check it out. I remember we watched the trailer for it, but I didn't know it was out yet. Well, I've heard that, people talk about it, so I could assume it was out. Masters of Albion. Yeah, it's kind of like another Godus game, but you can actually move the character around. It's got mixed reviews. Uh-oh. 22 Cans. 22 Cans still develops games? Wait. Why does 22 Cans... They have the Trail Front... Wait a minute. Why is... Hold up. There's a game that 22 Cans made that's not showing on here. How do I go to my fucking library? Hang on. Let me open up Steam. Do you guys remember Godus? Godus? I don't fucking remember how to say it. Goddo? Hello? Is Steam... Okay, Steam's like not working. I had to hit it twice. Goddess. Is this not technically made by 22 Cans? It is 22 Cans. Why doesn't it? They literally scrubbed it from their games. It doesn't show up. This is a mostly negative game. This game sucked. And I pre-ordered this shit. I thought this was gonna be like, I used to love Peter Molyneux, and this really was not it. They made The Trail. I played it for hours on my phone back then. I had no idea they made that either. And I played that too on my phone. What the fuck? Yeah, Peter Molyneux, he has good ideas for sure. Sometimes not the best execution. Mixed reviews is because people like still hate Peter from 20 years of false promises. That makes sense. That's yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Anyways, moving on from Peter Molyneux and his interesting background, let's go to another win, going to the Xbox changes. New Xbox CEO Asha Sharma is off to a surprisingly good start with her first changes to the direction of the company. The biggest so far is a decision to lower the price of Game Pass from $29.99 to $22.99, which is still higher than it used to be, but I mean, it's better. With the only change being that COD is not included anymore. We talked about this last week, that there's a rumor going around that they were going to stop making COD for Game Pass, and they did. COD is not going to be included in Game Pass anymore, and it's going to result in a cheaper subscription cost, which I think is a fair trade. I don't fucking care about COD, to be honest. The new Game Pass also includes Ubisoft and EA Play. That is pretty cool. I can't stay much longer. I have work early tomorrow. Good night. Good night, Mo. It's nice seeing you, dude. Yeah, so I think that's a pretty good step in the right direction. I ended up ending my Game Pass subscription because I wasn't really using it, and I'm like, I'm gonna be spending $30 a month on this thing. That's ridiculous. So I think it's more enticing for me to come back at some point and start using it again. I definitely would not spend $30 a month on Game Pass just because I don't use it that much. And she also ended the Microsoft gaming branding, reverting it back to simply Xbox, which is really cool. So they've changed their advertising campaigns from everything is an Xbox to we are Xbox. That was their mission statement that they put out, and I think that's a really good one. They changed the logo back to look more like the original Xbox green. They're kind of going back to the roots, so I think it's a step in the right direction, and hopefully they can actually start turning things around. And really what it's going to come down to, and everyone's been saying this, it's very obvious, they need to make good games. They just do. They have to make better games. Until that happens, they're not going to be successful. So it's really going to come down to their studios and whether or not they can get Bethesda to pump literally anything out that was even remotely good. Bethesda hasn't really made a hit in a long time. They've made like Doom, that was a good one, but they haven't made like, I think they really did peak with Skyrim, which is scary because that came out in 2011. I could do with a new version of Skyrim. Holy shit, dude. Holy shit. So yeah, that's kind of where they're at. They need to get people like Bethesda, another studio that's been doing terrible is Obsidian. They bought Obsidian, and Obsidian hasn't put out a hit since they bought them. They made the Outer Worlds 2 that flopped. They made Avowed that flopped. Like everything Microsoft has been touching has turned to shit. So I want 10 more. They didn't make enough. That's true. We need an Avowed remaster. Anyways, moving on. Let's hope Xbox continues this W trend. Hang on, let me ban this. Ban. There we go. They almost feel like it has some crazy foreshadowing, or this almost feels like it has some crazy foreshadowing. Maybe. I guess we'll see. Like it's really difficult to tell where a company's gonna go. This is a step in the right direction. It seems like they have a good intention here, but you know, intentions aren't everything. Actions are. So we'll see. Moving on to our next fail. The terrible IGN review. IGN is back rage-baiting gamers with their awful review of Mouse PI for Hire. Their latest review gave the game a piddling 6 despite users giving it an overwhelmingly positive score on Steam. Their main criticism is that the story elements are weak, particularly compared to other noir franchises. I didn't add a Y there. The reviewer appears to be completely oblivious of the fact that the game has you playing a cartoon mouse shooting hundreds, if not thousands, of enemies. At one point, they even questioned the morality of killing a cartoon rat opera singer that was the boss of one of the levels. They were like, this person didn't do anything wrong. They just think that you're interrupting their show. Like this seems wrong. It's like, dude, it's a cartoon mouse. This review also came from Will Borger, which is honestly, you can't make this up, dude. Literally Borger. All right, Mr. Borger. Their reviews a 6. They gave it an okay rating, saying Mouse PI for Hire is an amusing enough FPS if you want to blast some cartoon mice and not think too hard about it. Yes, it's exactly what people want, you fucking idiot. But may it be a haphazard marriage of noir storytelling and boomer shooter actions are at odds in an uncomfortable ways that weaken both aspects. Dude, you're so stupid. Just a reminder. They gave Concord a 7. They said it was good. Concord is a very fun sci-fi hero shooter that shows real promise but lacks both innovation and content at launch. Dude, are we so for real? Are we so... I winged that at Zen. Tell me if there are any... Tell me if my American joke was good. Oh, bro's from Jersey and wants a burger. I think you gotta take that one back to the shop. You gotta work on that one a little bit. Oh my goodness. What else? They gave IGN. They gave Avowed a 7 out of 10. Well, I think Avowed is a 7 out of 10 to be fair, but maybe an 8. What's another terrible game that came out? They gave Doom 2016 a 7.1. That's crazy. Let's see if I can find another quick couple ones. Apparently people say that this is a really bad one. God Hand being a 3. I never played God Hand. There's one, I can't remember, we've done this before where we compare some of the IGN scores. I remember they gave like a really good score to another terrible game that flopped. What's the horsey game that you play as? The horse in, or no, you ride a horse. It shut down like 2 days ago. I can't remember. I think they gave that one a really good review too. Just unbelievably inconsistent from IGN. It's crazy. Did even lie for my feelings. Adrift? Who is this guy? Is he a former dev or something? Wild. Wait, what are you talking about? What does Adrift have to do with anything? Oh, you're saying that they gave it like a really good or bad score? All right, moving on. That's all of our wins and fails for this week. Let's go into our first story. you said it was a bad game that came out recently. Hold fast to what you... I didn't read that quick enough. The journey so far. Go forth, discover, unite the stars unto one. Oh, the soundtrack always goes so hard. Let none bar your path. Is this Final Fantasy 16 DLC? Close. I thought it was an Infinium trailer. I wish.
One more time.
I wish
It's
Infinium
my
looked this good.
story.
Watch this. This is about when I stopped watching the trailer, and I was like, I need to watch this on stream.
But if you insist.
The visuals are insane.
All right, I'm ready.
It's an old cat lady. Did you see her tail? That was amazing. The etching was flawless.
Long ago, in a time.
No, just wait. Watch this.
Life prospered, but the
Watch the
world
trees.
was rich in plenty. Majestic trees stood sentinel over lands without end.
Oh my goodness.
From towering peaks sprang rivers, flowing into and feeding great seas. And noble kingdoms
God damn!
flourished,
Right?
wanting for naught.
Let's go! Is that a sage tool? Yeah, those are sage tools. That was Alphinaud's. Wait, no, these are like drones. Those were his
But
sage
then
tools.
came the relentless ice.
Need to get back into Final Fantasy 14. You still haven't even gotten to Dawn Trail.
And still, men succumbed to bitter sorrow. And as we struggled to survive, they marched, and all was lost. We had no choice but to flee to the skies.
Then what happened?
The land below became a frozen waste.
Gosh, the animation style is insane with this wolf.
Everything changed when they arrived.
The traveler. The one from the sky.
That's us.
Aye, though in those days we knew them as far wanderer.
He's a Reaper. Oh boy. This looks amazing. Tell me this is in-game graphics. It's not. It's definitely not. Oh, it's so exciting. So that is Final Fantasy XIV Evercold. That is the newest expansion to Final Fantasy XIV, and I am so excited. I don't even care if you guys care about it, because I do. I have about 3,000 hours in this game. It's one of my favorite games. Coming in 2027, the next expansion has been revealed at the Final Fantasy XIV Fan Fest. This game is so big, it has its own convention. Like, I don't think you guys understand. Final Fantasy XIV is not just another MMO. It's huge. Final Fantasy has one of the most dedicated fan bases. It's actually insane. They have such a big fan base that they kind of destroyed Magic the Gathering for a while when the Final Fantasy set came out. I've never seen any Magic the Gathering set be that impossible to get in my entire life. And Magic the Gathering, it was a generational success for them. It's the most successful set they've ever made by far, like bar none. And they literally had an Avatar set and a Spider-Man set come out just after those ones, and they were failures in comparison. It's actually insane. So some of the big new features coming in the are the new. Holy shit! I double tapped. So I wrote this at 2 a.m. I was exhausted. Let me just ad-lib it a little bit. Some of the big new features coming are daily bonuses from roulettes. I don't really understand what that means. It's like a battle pass system, but I guess you don't have to pay for it. It's like it's a thing to help you level. So you have your daily roulettes, and you'll get weekly rewards now from on top of it. So that's interesting. I'd like to see how that works. They have high level items being able to be used for lower level jobs, which is awesome. That means, so if you have a level 100 like tank and then you're leveling another like, you know, level 30 tank, you can use the same gear from your level 100 tank for your level 30 tank. So you only need one gear set per class type, which is just awesome. That's such a benefit to the gameplay, because before you'd have to have an entire different set for every single class you're playing as, and your inventory would get filled very quickly, and you would have to like start deleting things. It was a problem. It is a problem. It's not going to be a problem anymore. So that's very nice. There's also new character there's new character customization and emote options, which is very cool as well. So there's going to be bonus character customization, and then there's going to be what's called for lack of a better word, is like on the fly emotes. So they're going to be like different emotes for different situations. I don't know how it's going to work, but it's going to essentially allow you to have like unique emotes. So that'll be really cool. And then the data centers will now be able to crossplay, which is huge, so massive. Not only are you, because if you want to play on a different data center, you have to transfer your character over, and it's a huge process. Now you can just hop and skip over to different data centers, which allows you to play with your European friends, which is also very cool. But not only that, you can also queue into duties with, because in the game, like doing a dungeon or like a raid or anything is called a duty. You can now play in a pool of everybody in like North America, or everybody in South America, or like whatever data center or like region in the world you're in. So that means that there's going to be more people to queue with, which is going to fix a lot of the queue times. Like it's duty. Yeah, and this is gonna be a big W. I think these are all very welcome changes. And of course, this expansion will also include a level cap bump of 10. It was 100, it's gonna be 110 now, which is kind of lame because 100 is such a good number, but you know, whatever. And 2 new unspecified classes that are rumored to be a tank and a ranged DPS. So every single expansion, we get 2 new characters that you can play as, 2 new class options, and this will be no different. And then a huge win for free trial players is that they will now be able to play up to the best expansion, Shadowbringers, for free. When I first played this game, you only got the base game for free, and now you can play all the way up to the first and second expansions. And then, is it the third expansion? Yeah, Shadowbringers is the third expansion, dude. You get so much content for free. It's actually insane. I highly recommend people give this a play. This game is this is the One Piece of video games. It really is. It gets good after like 100 hours. It really does. The base game, you're kind of like, okay, this is just your generic MMO. And then you get to like the first expansion, you're like, I'm fighting a dragon? That's cool. Oh my gosh, the Estidian is alive? Oh, he's fusing with the dragon? Like... And then there's just like, I don't know, it's very good. I highly recommend you guys try it out. And Shadowbringers is just a literal masterpiece. I almost wish that you could just skip to it, but you can't. I wish I saw One Piece so I could like accurately explain what this is like. But you know, everyone has that moment in One Piece where like, oh my gosh, this is a masterpiece. They get to that one arc that's just amazing. Shadowbringers is that arc, and now you can play it for free. So I really recommend you give it a try. It's going to take you a couple 100 hours, but I think it's worth it. Get the free trial, play up to Shadowbringers, and Dude, just have a blast. You know what's crazy, Skittlesburger? You haven't even gotten to Shadowbringers, have you? I think you're at the expansion before, or you just got to... No, you just got to Shadowbringers, and you haven't finished it. I think I'm in it now. Yeah, you have to play that one, dude. It's so good. It flips the trope on its head, where instead of the warrior of light, you're the warrior of darkness. So you're actually doing the opposite. You're in a world where light has taken over everything, and now you have to be the darkness that sets the balance. It's really cool. It's really, really cool. It's also way darker than all the other expansions. Like, there's people getting fucking eaten alive. There's like this doctor that's like taking care of sick patients, and then they get murdered by one of the patients. It's just like, dude, you're just like watching it, you're like, this is dark. I just beat the angel thing for the first time. Hell yeah. Have you been paying for the expansion, the subscription all this time? Because I saw you in game, your name, it said you hadn't logged in for like 500 days. You know, that's like a year's worth. It's over a year of not playing the game and paying for it. That's crazy. Anyways, moving on. I can tell not everybody is a huge fan of Final Fantasy 14. That's all right. This is mostly for me. I was just really excited when I saw this. But that's not all we have. If you guys, I'm just gonna say this: if you guys have a, passion for adventure, for the high seas, then this one might be a little bit more your speed. I told you this was movie night.
Hello, pirates. Matt Ryan,
a lot of trailers today.
Voice of Edward Kenway. And this is Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced.
It looks really good, by the way.
13 years after the original, this remake brings the classic game.
Honestly, the original, though, doesn't look that bad. Like, am I crazy to say, like, the changes, like, this is obviously better. The lighting's better. The models are better. Like, look how great and crisp everything is. But am I just cooked where, like, graphics don't mean that much to me anyways? Like, I would have so much fun with this on the left. This still looks really good to me. It's like, now that I see what it could look like, obviously this is better, but, like, I would be happy with
Back
the left.
to life.
Like, as a new
Rebuilt from
game.
the ground up with the latest Anvil engine to deliver the most thrilling pirate adventure. All right.
I can't believe Ubisoft
Let's
has never
set
remastered
sail.
this before.
Dash my buttons. Your life seems a grand one, if I may say. So full of adventure.
This is easily their most popular.
as Captain Edward
This is their most popular Assassin's Creed ever, and it was so popular that they ended up making Skull and Bones a crossover. Not a crossover, but like a spin-off of this game. It just went into development hell, and they didn't know what to do with it, and they failed miserably. But this had so much goodwill and like fan fever behind it that they made another quote unquote quadruple A game based on it.
Kenway, a rebellious scoundrel eager to make a name for himself.
I need to
in
play this
pursuit
so
of
bad.
Glory.
I had it on my
search
PlayStation
for a
5
better
with
life.
the PlayStation Plus subscription, but then I didn't renew it, so I lost access. I couldn't finish it.
Shut your bloody gob or I'll fill it with shot, you hear me?
Edward, is it?
The animations, I think, are the same. Those look like the same
Crossing
animations
paths with
from back in the
assassins and
day.
Templars,
I remember the
Edward
Assassin's Creed
was
animations. They were a bit
drawn into their
goofy. The
centuries-old
hits didn't
conflict
feel like they were
with
hitting, you know what I mean?
ramifications and legendary treasures at stake. Along the way, he joins
graphics look
forces
great,
with
though.
infamous
Looks like Red
pirates
Dead Redemption.
such as Anne Bonny, Charles Vane, and Blackbeard.
Blackbeard.
With them, he helps establish a short-lived, lawless republic following the pirate code and defying empires built on cruelty.
They
and
spelled
greed.
pirates with a Y.
Together, in their search for freedom, power,
Pirates.
and riches, they'll fight across a treacherous tropical paradise, from dangerous waters to dense jungles.
You know, I haven't played Sea of Thieves either. I feel like I'm due for a good pirate game. You know what I mean?
From the grandeur of Havana, the thriving and
I
wealthy
deserve
jewel of
this.
the Caribbean ruled by Templars, to Kingston's bustling trade hub, and Nassau, the beating heart of the pirate republic. Each city offers a distinct atmosphere.
They have their own
shaped by
pirate-like
opportunities,
civilization.
conflicts. The Caribbean world reaches a new level of immersion and realism. powered by high-resolution textures,
Sheesh.
enhanced lighting,
Wow, the
strikingly
foliage is
detailed
a
environments,
beautiful change.
and a new dynamic weather system. Even underwater exploration
This is
more
gorgeous.
expansive,
Holy
more
shit.
beautiful, and more perilous than ever before.
Did the other game look like this? Did it have this underwater section as well?
With seamless access to cities and locations, the world feels truly alive.
Dude, how have I not played this game before? This is crazy. I have to play this.
Creating the perfect backdrop for a life on the edge, where freedom is earned and danger is never far away.
Oh, and let's not forget, there's also combat in
Time
this
to draw
game.
swords, lads. The combat system has been entirely reworked into an action-oriented
I heard about
experience.
this. There's no blood in the
While
trailer.
wielding dual swords,
A lot of people were upset about this, but
hidden
apparently
blades.
they just did it for the trailer. There's going to be blood in
now
the actual
plays a
final game.
specific role with faster, more fluid attacks and combos.
Gosh, that looks so cool.
Land a perfect parry to open up your target for an instant kill. Then follow with up
This
to
is what I
4
liked
chained
about-
takedowns.
I have to stop for a second. I know I've been pausing on. This is what I liked about the original Assassin's Creed. I didn't like when they did the RPG spin-off series where like you hit someone 100 times and it's like instead of with a sword you're hitting them with a fucking baseball bat. It feels like it's all blunt damage. It's just whittling their health bar down. I like these perfect parries and then you hit them and they're dead. You know, you do like a cool like insta kill because it's a sword battle. They're squishy bodies, right? Like they're just people of flesh and you're sticking a sharp object into them. They're dead instantly. Like they're not going to survive being pierced through the chest or through their back like this with a sword. Like this guy's dead. And I liked that. I liked in the early Assassin's Creed, you could just walk behind 2 guards and just double, stick them with your hidden blades. That was sick.
Use walls, ledges, and breakables to your
They haven't
advantage.
shown the hidden blades yet, though. Those are in the game,
Keep track
surely.
of your opponents and use all your tools to level the playing field.
The grappling hook is sick. Here's
But
one of the
fight
bigger enemies.
recklessly, and you will be punished.
That's
Whether
sick.
you're on the hunt or on the run, mastering your environment is key.
Alright, they got climbing still.
As you navigate through cities and jungles, you'll experience smooth and improved iconic parkour moves.
Okay, so they improved the parkour. That was my question, because like in the previous game, some of the parkour was really difficult. Like your character would jump in the wrong directions. Sometimes you couldn't reach certain things. Like you'd sit there just jumping again and again and again and again, and he wouldn't grab the ledge. And you're like, can I not grab this ledge? And like the 10th time you try, he grabs it. You're like, why did he do that the first time? Like,
Free jumps, to back ejects, and side ejects. These options offer a range of reactive movements, giving you tighter control, resulting in greater speed and deadlier assassinations. Being a pirate assassin,
this is such a
often
common
called
experience, actually, that this meme became like synonymous with the game. Jump, fucking jump. And then he jumps off to his death, and then there's a picture of the controller in the monitor. He's so happy. He's like, wee! This was the experience, too relatable. This was literally the game. So if they just improved that, like, I'm happy. That's like the main change I would like to see. Is like better parkour. That's what they're claiming it is better. So we'll see.
for a subtle approach. With Resynced and its enriched stealth system, you can now crouch freely as part of your toolkit to approach targets.
Oh, he killed him with a blow dart. I'm gonna be honest. A lot of people hate stealth games. I really like stealth games. I like lurking in the shadows for 30 minutes at a time. Like I really liked Dishonored. I really liked Splinter Cell, Blacklist. Like those games are fun to me. Hitman. I like stealth games. Sniper, Ghost Warrior. Dishonored was very peak.
Tailing
I loved
and
Dishonored.
eavesdropping missions have also been revamped. In the original game, getting discovered meant instant desynchronization. Yes, this was a pretty big pain point. We remember. Now, the action continues.
They're
Your
self-aware.
objectives remain, but your target will react, and you must adapt accordingly.
Dude, I can't wait to kill
All
some
these
British
new interactions offer
naval
multiple
officers.
ways
This is gonna be
to
so much
succeed
fun.
and progress
Knock
in
their
your missions.
stupid powdered wigs off their heads. Hell yeah. Wait.
Of course. This wouldn't
What?
be a real pirate adventure without
You know
a
what
ship.
you guys were like back then.
Jackdaw.
They need to do this with Assassin's Creed 3. Dude, they have so many games they could remaster. Assassin's
What a
Creed 3, Assassin's Creed 2.
Set
Like, those are
sail
some of the
and
better
freely
games, too.
roam the Caribbean. Now equipped with even
This
more
was between
firepower,
Assassin's Creed
the
2 and 3,
Jackdaw
wasn't
can
it?
conquer the high
This game
seas
was
like
originally like
never
a side
before.
game. This was actually, I think, this game was originally going to be a DLC for like Assassin's Creed 2 or something. It just became, the scope got bigger and it became like its own thing.
Every weapon. You
It
now
ended up
have
being
more
like one of the
power
most
and
successful
flexibility
Assassin's
to overcome
Creeds.
opponents' ships in any situation.
This is really good right now for Ubisoft in their current public opinion, because this reminds people like, hey, we used to make good games. Remember that? Remember why we were such a big company in the first place?
Boarding parties and fort raids. All of these are back and as challenging, dangerous, and exciting as
Like, I don't see anything here that's not fun looking.
To reinforce your crew, 3 brand new officers make their entrance. Lucy Baldwin, the Padre, and Deadman Smith.
Okay, he just shot his
Officer
dick off.
has a unique narrative quest line that reveals their backstory. Gain their trust to
What did
recruit
you
them to your
play?
crew and
Kill some
benefit from their
British?
special gameplay abilities. Deadman Smith, for example, unlocks a double shot from broadside weapons.
Wow, that destruction looks sick.
Explore the Caribbean alongside your crewmates and trusty pet.
Yes,
That's
dude!
right.
10 out of 10. 11 out of 10. Game of the year, right here.
You can now find a cat or monkey for the Jackdaw.
It's a little monkey.
Engage and plunder other vessels. Steer
The
through
fuck we
violent
doing?
storms,
Talking about a
rogue
masterpiece.
Waves. Or just soak up the sun, regaled by
Also talking about
shanties
killing
new and
British
old.
people. Let's go kill some East India Company officers. Need my address? It's
Assassin's
easy to
Creed
get there.
Black
Just
Flag
get across the
V6
Atlantic.
offers a deeper,
What the
more
fuck?
immersive adventure that remains faithful to what players love, while enriching the experience.
We must
with
unite and
enhanced
take away their
gameplay
freedom
features
again.
and fresh
Yeah,
quests
okay.
and
Let's look at the
storylines,
scoreboard real quick.
including
Let's
ones for the
compare,
officers met
you know,
earlier
military
and
sizes.
Just between you and me, new narrative arcs involving our old friends, Blackbeard.
Right now, the UK versus the US would be like literally that meme where it's like hydro, what the fuck, atom bomb versus coughing baby. It's not hydro bomb. Whatever the fuck, dude. This beer's hitting. This beer's hitting.
Defied empires.
You know what I mean?
And relive the era's explosive events amidst the ancient war between assassins and Templars.
Nice one,
in the
dumbass.
ultimate pirate fantasy. Gold.
We're going back to
infamy,
war.
and adventure
We're going back to
await.
war. I bet that's what
Time
they
to
said
raise the
before the
black
UK owned
flag.
90% of the earth. Dude,
Again.
the UK is a shell of its former self. Let's not get it twisted. Oh my gosh. You guys can't even win a fight against like you guys would legitimately lose an all-out war against France right now. 100,000%. France has a bigger military than you guys do. France helps us more in the Middle East than the UK does. You Assassin's Creed stinky fucking French. Hey, it's not my fault they got a bigger military complex than you do. Gotta get your money up. Bigger doesn't mean better. I guess we'll see. All right, moving on. Assassin's Creed Black Flag Racing. I just really upset all the the British people in my chat. It's not about size. They're losing the battle for control of their own country at the moment. That's what I wanted to say. I didn't want to get too political, but I could not give a shit. And that's why you're losing. Okay, moving on. We have finally gotten more details about the new Assassin's Creed Black Flag remake, and it is now official that the game is releasing July 9th for $60. I mean, $60 is like, I think that's fair. At least it's not 70, I guess. That's the silver lining here. This game is more than just a graphics overhaul and will include changes to parkour, reworked tailing missions, and an improved combat system. The tailing missions were also like, so they point out the annoyance with eavesdropping. Apparently that'll also include a change to the tailing missions. So like all the following missions that were in this game that just kind of padded out the runtime. Hopefully those will be reworked as well. This seems to be an easy win for Ubisoft, as it is one of their most beloved in the series, and they claim to be doing the best to recreate that magic. We're being invaded casually. Like, why start war when you can migrate an entire nation? I'll give you that. Okay, so you guys agree. I talk to a lot of, or I don't talk to, I see a lot of excerpts from British people who say like, oh, it's okay. Like, it's okay. Like, you know, British are becoming a minority in their own country. And I'm like, okay, I guess they're into it. I would be kind of upset too if like a quarter of Americans were like not American. And to be fair, my view of American is very broad. Like, I see all colors, all types of people as American. What I mean by non-American are people that were born abroad, is specifically don't speak like the same language that the majority of Americans speak. Like it is frustrating, especially because like language is a very finicky thing. Like, we are divided by language. It's just a fact of life. If people don't speak the same language as you, it adds a lot of friction to society. Ideally, you want people that can all speak the same language. Luckily, you know, English is spoken by the majority of the world. I would say like English and Chinese or Mandarin are two of the most uniting languages. This is too political for me. You lost me a while ago. I know, this is getting way too political. That's what happens when you get one beer in. Go more EU or US. Go more into what? I've always wanted to move away because I know where, but it's fucking cold at that place. Yeah, what, like Sweden or something? I like where I live. I really like America. I'm gonna be honest. I also live in a pretty good place. I live in the Pacific Northwest. Like, it's beautiful here. The people are a lot nicer. There has been a lot of policy change, and there's been a lot of economic change that's like made it worse. I remember my childhood was better. It's getting progressively worse throughout time, but like it's also kind of doing the same thing in the rest of the world. So it's like Canada has an even worse housing market. Australia has a worse housing market. I don't imagine the UK has a very good housing market. It's not like there's a place that's like obviously better. I'm happy with where I spawned. I could have been born in Africa, you know what I mean? US northern/Midlands are okay. Yeah, dude, I'll show you here. I'll show you where the US is good to live in. US map. Hold up. I'll show this real quick and then we'll move on. I don't want to get too political. I want to make it clear that I love everybody. I love immigrants. I mean, everybody in America are immigrants. But there needs to be like some sort of like shared, you know, like shared ideology or like nationalism between people. Like we all have to be like in a yeah. There we go. You want to live in these red circles. There we go. And yeah. Oh. There we go. This is the ideal place to live. If you're going to move to America, these are the only acceptable places that you're going to want to live. Washington, Oregon, Northern California, Las Vegas, Austin, Texas, and then like the whole northeastern side, you know, Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Connecticut. New York. You do not want to go to Jersey. Whatever you do not go to Jersey or Pennsylvania. This is the line. This line right here, the border between Pennsylvania and New Jersey, is where you do not want to cross. I almost said like Chicago, but Chicago fucking sucks, dude. I'm not gonna lie. You're gonna get shot there. Yeah. Oh, all of Hawaii. All of Hawaii, if you can afford it. If you can afford it. All of Hawaii is fucking awesome. But it's expensive. Midwest is dope. Go there, cough. The Midwest, I'll be honest, I have the furthest Midwest. The furthest into the mid, I wouldn't even say Midwest, is Idaho, and I liked Idaho. The Midwesterners, they do get down. They all have basements there, by the way. This is a thing that you wouldn't know. On the East, or on the West Coast, we don't have basements in our homes, but everyone in the Midwest, for some reason, have basements. I don't know if it's tornadoes or what, but they all have basements. They have pool tables down there. They've got like everyone has a fucking bar in their basement. They got like the man cave thing going on. They got like, I've seen people, they have like custom LED signs. Dude, it's sick. Like, they know how to get down. They have parties all the time, which is just like, you know, your brother and his wife and their kids, they come over and you just drink beers until you're fucking like blackout drunk. It's awesome, dude. The Midwest is pretty cool. Oh, what do you mean not Southern? Oh, not Southern at all. Keck W. Okay. To put into perspective, the worst places you can live in this country is right here. I'm gonna do the opposite. Now I'm gonna highlight the worst places you can live. Wait. There we go. These are the places you don't ever want to live. Florida. Everyone here is fucking insane. Alabama, Georgia, Mississippi. Everyone here is poor. Louisiana. Everyone here is double poor. Arizona, New Mexico. Too fucking hot. Southern California. Everybody is rich, but they will still steal from you and break into your cars. Sorry, this got way too political. Let's move on. What the fuck are we doing? Dude, what is in this beer? Moving on. I think, are we done with the black flag thing? I think we are.
They want the entry-level graphics cards like an RTX 50.
Sorry, I should probably pause this. Let me explain what we're about to watch. We're going to take a look at DLSS 6X frame generation. This is a video by Vex Gaming, but it's 92% fake frames by Vex.
T60. You know, I tested this. It can't really do 6 times frame generation very well. It struggles at 4 times frame generation. How do you think it's going to do 6 times? You take such a large performance hit by going to 6 times, especially on the low-end graphics cards. It just doesn't seem worth it. It increases your latency a lot. This 6 times frame gen, not only is it exclusive to 50 series graphics cards, you also have to have the high-end graphics cards to even take advantage of it. And on another level, you need a high refresh rate monitor to even see the frame rate that it's pumping out, because
which, by the way,
you're generating at anything above
over 140
FPS as a base, that means you're going to be over 240 hertz. So if you want 6 times frame gen to be even effective, you need like 240 to 360 hertz monitor, which is just not.
Yeah. So this is a video where this guy, I highly recommend you guys watch this video. Highly recommend. I don't want to just rip off the entire video. I just showed 1 minute of it, but he goes into it. I'll show a little bit more. He shows like the
is not
ghosting.
As responsive. It's
so what he does is he sets a frame target. So if his target is 120 FPS, it'll change the minimum FPS, so it'll only generate a certain amount of frames, and then double it, or sextuple it, so 6 times the frames, and it'll meet that mark. So if he's trying to get like 60 FPS, it'll only render 10 frames per second. And he just shows like taking this to its extreme. The game looks terrible. Here it is in Borderlands.
Yeah. Oh, whoa, that's really weird.
Look at the shadows.
Whoa. What is going on with this texture? What is going?
This is 40 frames turned to 240.
I'm gonna zoom out a bit. Like, it's not terrible in terms of latency.
And then let's skip a little bit further. Here's where he takes it to its logical conclusion.
Starts to just ignore that frame rate cap that we
ghosting
put in
looks
place. It's supposed to
terrible.
cap at 60 FPS right now. I don't know if you would necessarily call this smooth. This doesn't really feel right. Now, in some games, the smooth motion will just override frame generation from NVIDIA, or it'll be the other way around, where frame generation will override the smooth motion, but
Oh, check
they
this
don't
out.
want to both Now, looking through a lot of these games, a lot of them do not
Oh, wait,
support.
let's go back.
Okay, the fire just clips. It just clips straight up. When I put away my gun, it just like appears. Now, looking through a lot of these.
So yeah, I highly recommend you watch this. It has some weird effects on the games. This is just what you get with frame generation. So what it's doing is, in this instance, it has 10 frames per second, and it's using AI to try to fill in the spaces and figure out what should go in between. Now, the problem here, and we'll just jump right into it. The problem here is wait, wait, okay, maybe let's just take it from the top. I'll just read what I have written down, because I'm gonna skip to like right around here into the middle. I don't want to do that. DLSS 4.5 has released and introduced a new 6x frame generation technology. You'll need an Unobtainium RTX 50 series GPU to use it, and is beginning to question. It is begging the question: who is this for? This technology would not be useful for competitive gaming, as it appears to increase the latency and introduce weird ghosting effects in extreme situations on both the UI and weapon sights. That's what I wanted to get to right there. Is it? I want to stay on this for a second. The issue is the increased latency. So what he pointed out is every single time, and he did this incrementally, so he didn't start with 6x frame generation, he started with 2x, then 3x, then 4x, then 5x, then 6x. Every time he increases the frame generation, it's actually increasing the latency. And at some points, he was having 100 milliseconds of latency in the games. The problem with frame generation is you're getting more frames, but it's taking longer to put out those frames. It has more latency because the AI has to generate those frames. So it's actually creating a weird, slow feeling to the game. It's not as smooth as you would expect. It's high frame rate, sure. But if you're the actual one interacting, moving the mouse, you feel it. It's bad. So like this technology isn't even useful for multiplayer games. It's maybe cool for like a single player game, especially if you're maybe playing with a controller. You might not notice it that much. There's already a lot of latency with like a wireless controller anyways. But if you're playing Counter-Strike, you try to turn this shit on, you're getting a headshot every time you peek around a corner, because you got a whole, a tenth of a second less before you actually see the fucking guy. You know what I mean? Players are starting to realize that high frame rates are not all that matters, but low latency is arguably just as, if not more important than smooth gameplay. And it's also weird because this is in a weird gray area where only the 50 series can even use it. And it's like the 50 series is already really fast. Like, why would you? It's just strange to me. This might be more useful for like the lower end GPUs. I don't see why a high-end GPU would even need this. But that's just where DLSS is going. We have they started frame generation, it looks like, in the 40 series. I'm still on the 30 series, so when I got DLSS, I had ray reconstruction, super resolution, and anti-aliasing. And these are all things that like improve the game. Like super resolution arguably does make the game feel smoother because it's rendering the game at a lower resolution and upscaling it with AI. That's a great way to increase performance. They're just adding fake frames at this point. The performance is actually staying the same, if not getting worse. Oh, it is getting worse. As you generate more frames, your performance is actually getting worse on the back end. So your frame rate, if you're getting 60 FPS on a game and you don't have any frame generation going on, then that's what you're getting, right? That's your just raw output. You're outputting 60 frames. Now, if you enable frame generation, it drops to like 58, 55, 56, and as low as with 6x frame generation, it can drop to 40 frames, dude. Like you're lowering your performance, increasing latency with this technology. And that's a problem. It is a problem. Maybe for like console gaming, it's a cool technology. Maybe for like casual gaming, but just like this is not it for like anybody wanting a snappy, responsive, especially multiplayer driven game. Like it's just not it. It's not a good idea. So that's just what I want to talk about. I highly recommend you guys watch the video. He does a better job of explaining it than I do. But I watched this and I was like, oh, I need to include this in the gaming news. This is something that came across my own YouTube feed. Moving on to the Battlefield movie. A new Battlefield movie has been revealed by The Hollywood Reporter and will be directed by Christopher McQuarrie. McQuarrie, how the fuck do you say that name? Who made Mission Impossible, and starring Michael B. Jordan. That's the second time this episode he's come up. This project has not been sold by EA or to any studios yet, but they are currently pitching to Apple, Sony, and soon other large studios. So as far as we know, they've only pitched to Apple and Sony, and then they're going to start pitching to other studios. McQuarrie. Okay, that makes sense. We got our resident Irishologist over here. You know, I've been drinking Irish Death. You'd think I would know how to pronounce a name like that, but the plan is a theatrical release and will likely forego deals with streaming sites. So Netflix is probably out of the picture. I don't imagine like this will be on Disney Plus or anything like that. They're probably going to put this through to like Fox or Apple or so, and anybody willing to do a theatrical release. I'm sure it'll come to streaming sites later, but right now they're just looking to get it into theaters. It is currently unknown how the games will adapt into film. And I wanted to talk about this a little bit because I want to get your guys' opinions. What do you think is a good game from Battlefield for them to adapt? I think, and this should be a no-brainer. Maybe I'm wrong, but Bad Company. Bad Company is what comes up into my mind. It's the most unique game in the franchise. It's the most story-driven. It's the most it has the most like artistic style to it. It's the most stylized game of the series. So why not Bad Company? I think Bad Company is easily the most like no-brainer story to adapt. And then you get the benefit of not only just having Michael B. Jordan as like the lead, but now you can introduce more characters into the squad. There needs to be at least 4 main characters. Like if this is a Battlefield game, you have to have a squad. You got to have the medic, you got to have the assault, you got to have the engineer, and you have to have the scout. Like you got to do that. If this is going to be a Battlefield movie, you got to hit those tropes. It's just, it'll just work. And then the benefit is now you have 4 characters that all have their unique personalities that you can play into. I think this would be really cool. I like this. I don't think they should be too afraid of gamifying it. Make it a game, right? Like make it a gamey movie, right? I think that'd be really cool. And I think that's all I have to say. Is there any other Battlefields that you guys think would make a lot of sense? Battlefield 2042. Oh, that's a great one. No. I think it's like the worst one that they could probably adapt. Even Battlefield 6 apparently doesn't have a very good story. Their stories have been pretty weak lately. Battlefield 4 has a story. I wouldn't say it's particularly great. Battlefield 3 had a pretty good story. I was gonna say Sag Cry. Are you gonna say that? Wait, what? Battlefield Portland? What are you talking about? Were you gonna say Battlefield 2042? I don't know. I think Bad Company is like the most no-brainer, right? I mean, they could do a World War II movie. There's Battlefield 1942. They could do that. But I don't think they have like the same iconic style. Is the squad ICE agents? Oh, fuck off. Fuck off. I thought we weren't doing politics anymore. Moving on. Now, what we have here, I'm just going to explain this to you. This is the Elden Ring movie that's been leaked. Right there, you have the loathsome dung eater, and there he appears to be being pelted with like rotten food. This is live footage of PDX. No, this could be PDX. And I wasn't going to include this one, but I'll include it just because like I don't want you guys to say I'm like leaving out anything. This is footage of Queen Marika, who has a very strong like Targaryen vibe to her. It's hard to see. I think she's like right around here. The quality's terrible. Someone recorded this on a fucking iPhone 4. It looks like. It looks like it's really zoomed in, so that's probably why. They're like they're in peak voyeur mode right now. They're like in a bush somewhere. But here you can see her making her way through this crowded town. Behind her, you can actually see a camera crew is following her. This is Queen Marika. Here she goes, walking through. And then there's 2 guards she walks past, and there's the camera crew following behind her. So they're actively shooting this movie, which is fucking sick. Here's a higher res photo as a thumbnail, where you can see like some of the people working. And let's just get into the actual story behind this. I'll explain to you why this is a big deal. There have been multiple leaks from the Elden Ring movies set being directed by Alex Garland, who is, by the way, we talked about this before. We mentioned the Elden Ring movie. Alex Garland is a massive Elden Ring fan. I guess he's in his like 7th playthrough of the game. Like I trust this franchise in his hands wholeheartedly. One clip shows a scene where the loathsome dung eater is being hung while a crowd throws things at him. Probably food, maybe poop. It could be poop that they're throwing at him. I think it's kind of funny. A lot of memes came out of this where the loathsome dung eater is just hanging there. I'll be seeing it in theater. Oh yeah, absolutely. I will as well. Another clip shows Queen Marika walking through a market and notably has 2 braids. Now this is important because many fans familiar with the lore have noticed that this would indicate that this scene would take place before the shattering. This is not a big spoiler, but it indicates that we may be getting a very early look at Elden Ring instead of the apocalyptic world that we're used to. And this would be really interesting. It would be more like a prequel, which I think is a better way to take this film. You know, we all know how the story ends, right? We played it, we lived it. We want to know where this came from, right? We see all this allure baked into this world. We see the aftermath of what happened, where this came from, but we never actually saw the source. And this movie would take us back to that. It would take us before the shattering, probably leading up to the shattering. Maybe that's like a big plot point. I think that's a way more interesting movie than what we have, like just like recreating what we've already seen. Yes, yeah, I agree, dude. I agree. I'm excited for it. I really want to see, like, I mean, you saw how populated it was. There's people everywhere. It's lively. It's very sick to see this. I'm excited. I want to see what they do. I want to see the precursor to the Elden Ring world. I just got a phone call. All right, I'm gonna ignore that. So I don't know. I'm really excited for this. And Queen Marika, dude, she looks like what's the Targaryen lady? Daenerys. She looks like Daenerys, doesn't she? A lot of people have been like posting pictures of her and like comparing her to Daenerys. As you can see, she has 2 braids here, which is a big deal. I guess like one of them gets cut off in the shattering. It's like a big part. She becomes like a god queen. So this is pre-god queen era. It's very cool. Very, very cool. I'm excited to see where they take this story. I think the thing I'm most excited about, and that's why I'm not too worried about telling people about this or even learning about it myself. What we're gonna see here is something that we've never seen before, right? We're gonna get introduced to lore we never knew about. You know what I mean? This is all unseen territory. If this is all before the shattering, which is exactly where the movie should be. I would say probably about 75% of the movie should be pre-shattering. Then there's post-shattering, and it shows what happens there. Then the movie ends, and then we pick up with the game Elden Ring. I think that would be the perfect way to structure this. I want to see the ripping of the tarnished souls, and that is also why the loathsome dung eater was being hung in the first place. It's because he was disconnecting people from their Erd tree or whatever. He was ripping them out and turning them into omens. So that's why we're gonna see the loathsome dung eater's backstory. It's just so cool. There's so many ways that this movie could succeed, and I think they're right in the perfect spot. I'm excited to see it. I'm also excited that there's just a fan of the series working on this. Elden Ring has unnecessarily good lore, and it's just because they had George R.R. Martin working on it. You know what I mean? Like, oh my gosh, everything George R.R. Martin touches turns to gold, I swear. Except for, obviously Game of Thrones, but it's arguably not his fault that ended the way it did. Everything that he did everything that was good about Game of Thrones was directly George R.R. Martin's, doing. Anyways, moving on. I think is that all we have? Yep, we're moving on to a community time. So I like to try to make these final community times about like the moral of everything we've learned this week. And I want to just say, don't adapt to what you don't understand. We've seen a lot of examples of this. We've seen examples of people adapting stories that they don't understand, that they just want to make a generic action movie out of. We've seen people adapt stories that they really understand, that they love, like Elden Ring. We've even seen people adapt games into other games, right? Like with Black Flag, where they understood what people didn't like about the original game, what people like, and they're trying to enhance the parts that people like and lower the parts that people don't like. And that's exactly what you need to do. Our quote today is, creativity is allowing yourself to make mistakes. Art is knowing which ones to keep, by Scott Adams. And I couldn't agree more. Really, sometimes you make a mistake and it benefits things. Like for example, a glitch in a video game. Like sometimes glitches are like, people want you to keep them. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you find a glitch that like allows you to get launched in the sky and like do it like a speedrun skip. And only like the 1% of like really ravenous fans would even know about it. And like, you don't remove something like that. That's a mistake you keep. But if you're adapting something from a source material that you're not very interested in, don't do it, right? Like, one thing I've been thinking about a lot is like, what kind of Creative Commons or like, what's the word? Public domain. I've been thinking about public domain a lot. I'm like, what are like books that I could adapt into a video game? I would love to do something like that. I would love to make a game that's just recreating a book that I love. You know what I mean? And I've been looking into public domain stuff, and I would never, adapt something that I'm not familiar with, or I don't like appreciate, or especially like the original author or creator. One thing I think about a lot is Alice in Wonderland, which is a public domain book, and I really like the creator. He was a very logical, very like, he was almost like a computer scientist. Like that's what I like about him. He has like a lot of values that align with computer science, and I think I could only imagine if he was still alive today how like amazed he would be by how computers work and like the numbers. Like he was a guy who loved mathematics. Alice in Wonderland has a lot of mathematics in it, and or like references to math and numbers. And I could only imagine how much he would love computers, and how like they literally do math problems 1,000,000 times a second. Like they have threads that are running at gigahertz that are solving 30,000 requests at a time. It's crazy. That's why I made an homage to him in my game. There's a little like Alice in Wonderland dungeon that kind of like pays homage to him and like talks about like numbers. And I was like watching a like documentary about him, and like it inspired me to try to pay homage to him and like take what he did and output it into a creative way. And I really think people need to focus on that more, instead of seeing something that's like an established franchise like Far Cry and saying like, okay, how do I take that name and just use it to make something I want? Maybe look at who made that franchise what it is, understand the artistic value of it, and then adapt it into something that you can add to. That's the way that I see creativity and adaptation. And I've been thinking about that a lot lately. Uh-oh, here comes a random attack. Well, I'll let that random attack hit, and then we will end it, because we actually don't have any... I'm gonna get shit on. There it is. Anyways, everyone say goodbye to YouTube because unfortunately we don't have anybody who had any projects that they're working on. If you guys would like to share a project, join our Discord down below and go post in the share your work page. Get shit on Torque. Fuck YouTube. Bye YouTube. We love you even though people say fuck you.